Welcome to episode 3 of Jack of Sales. And here I'm updating my journey every single week, right? Just documenting what I've been going through and stuff. And it's been a pretty eventful week. Not actually that big of an eventful week, but since it's starting of Ramadan, and it's been like 4 days, 4 or 5 days, I think. It's 4 days, right? So it's been 4 days for Ramadan. Um, not a lot of updates on the offer at the moment. And like I also wanted to get into the depth of why that's been happening, right? And so yeah, let's just get into it, right? So the first point I want to cover is that I was working on building my work ethic, right? And so it was like 30 minutes a day, and then it went to 1 hour a day, and then it became 1 hour and one sales call per day. And so what I realized right after a few days ago was like, other than the non-negotiable that I had, a lot of other things were just not going in the right direction, right? So I talk to a lot of people, and a few of the people that I really look up to. One of the guys, he told me, yeah, if you're not really doing anything other than your non-negotiable, then something needs fixing in the mind and the soul, that you need to be in alignment, right? And so like for a very long time I chased money, right? And it was like, I have to get money, I have to get this, I have to do XYZ, else nothing's gonna change, right? And so it's like, if you actually look at the secrets of the universe, if you actually look at the laws that exist in the universe, right? Because one of the most important things, and I read this in a book, it was that you, in order to get results, in order to achieve the desired reality that you desire, you need to start thinking from the perspective of the universe rather than the perspective of human, right? Because it's humans, the constructs, human made constructs cannot get you the reality that you desire. Instead, you must think in universal constructs, constructs mentioned by Islam, constructs of God, constructs of the universe. So one of the biggest ones was just abundance, right? If you and also not chasing. So there's two things. It's like magnification. I think it was magnification and then maintenance, right? The universe tends to magnify anything that you chase, that you don't want, and it tends to maintain a balance, right? So for example, in the case of money, right? If you want money, then the universe is going to put people, it's going to create situations, it's going to create obstacles in your way to make sure that you don't get money even for longer period of time. So that feeling of, okay, I'm chasing, I'm being desperate about money, it's going to continue and it's going to magnify. And maintenance, right? So once it's magnified, the universe is going to do everything in its power to keep maintaining that for the next 2 years, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 decades, whatever, right? And so really just extern, um, you know how, what was the word of it, what was the word for it? Like I keep forgetting. It was, I think, um, I don't know what was the word, man? Anyways, like just not depending on external things, right, for validation or whatever. Like yeah, it was detaching yourself from reality. And so the most important thing in the entire sales journey, right, that no one is talking about, when obviously you go across that information of, okay, I'm gonna watch. So like I'm pretty sure everyone in this space goes through like these three phases, right? So it's number one, before they actually start making money, before they actually start seeing any sort of success. And so the number one, it's going to be the YouTube videos, the phase, right? So this is the phase where everyone is just consuming. They haven't invested anywhere, they haven't invested in themselves, and they're just like, I'm going to keep consuming, and the more I learn, the better I'm going to get. And they have that sort of feeling of productivity just by consuming. But the truth is that YouTube videos just stretch time. What actually helps you get ahead is the thing that is painful, right? What actually helps you really climb those stairs is are painful, difficult tasks. Because the truth is, everyone is just avoiding them, including me. and that's the truth. And so yeah, that's one of the things that I'm working on, like just putting them on a list and being like, okay, there's no other choice, man. I just have to do these things. So the list of things I've been putting off, I have to do them one by one by one. That's how I master myself. That is how I master reality, right? So that's one thing. Now that's phase one. Phase two is once they've done when they're done watching the YouTube videos, now they start networking, right? So now they're making friends and now they're hopping on networking calls, right? And they're doing everything, right? They're just networking and networking, and they're trying to find jobs. Now number three is now they accidentally land an offer, or maybe they haven't landed an offer for a while and now they're almost about to give up. So it could be either of the two, but the end result is that they end up finding that, okay, man, like I thought that if I got this job opportunity, I would that would be the end of the line. That would be the final step to then actually start making money. But that's not the truth, right? Because there's so much more that goes into it. Whereas when if you, for example, you've been going around for months and you still haven't gotten an opportunity, then you're just gonna be like, okay, okay. So people used to tell me that it's very easy to get job opportunities. It's very easy to get on a good offer. I still haven't landed an offer. So 100% there is something that I don't know, right? And in both of these circumstances, you realize the fact that okay, there is still something that needs to be mastered. There's still a step that is missing, right? There's a variety of things that have still yet to be done. So that's phase number three. Now phase number four, and this is the phase that I am in, right? At least I think I'm in, is you come to the conclusion, come to the realization that okay, now I know I'm not gonna make money for a while, right? I'm not gonna make any money. I'm not gonna see any success for the next 8 to 9 months. But I'm still going to keep going because at least I'm trying, right? Because I'm still gonna keep going because um, because I know that in the long term I'm gonna win. In the short term, it might feel like feel like a loss, but it is actually my pathway to winning in the long term. Eventually, I am going to win. So yeah, that's the phase I'm in right now. Just trying to chase the skill set instead of the money. Don't chase the money, chase the skill set. That's one of the most important points. I've seen iterated so many times across so many important people, right? People who've actually achieved success, they've all either always invested in the mentor, and once they did that, they just did loads and shit ton of volume and just really built that skill set. Because what stretches you, the market pays for what stretches you, right? The market pays for what is painful, for your pain tolerance. Doesn't pay you for watching YouTube videos and educating yourself that way. It pays you for your education that you learn from putting yourself into the trenches, stretching yourself, self developing yourself by doing the hard tasks, the things that you don't want to do, that you've been putting off, and doing them. The market pays you then, right? Because there's a sacrifice tax, right? You either pay sacrifice to the universe or sorry, no, I got that wrong. So pay sacrifice to the universe or give interest. What am I saying? No, sacrifice for the universe or pay interest. So it's either that you sacrifice something that is your old identity, your old habits, knowing that okay, I know everything is changing, man. Nothing's going to be the same ever, and I'm okay about it. Sacrifice that. Sacrifice your old identity to reach your new identity. Sacrifice the comfortable sleep, the sleep. Sacrifice, sacrifice other things. Sacrifice workouts. Obviously go ahead work out on Saturday, Sunday. I'm talking about myself here, right? Sacrifice friends, sacrifice feeling social, sacrifice eating out for the new identity. Because if you don't sacrifice, then you'll have to pay interest. If you keep putting something off, it's gonna compound, right? So there's this concept of compound interest where everything starts compounding. the longer you go without sacrificing your current, and sacrifice is like, this negative connotation, right? It's a negative term. Everyone associates it with a negative term. But think of it like an exchange. You're exchanging something with the universe. You're telling the universe, now I'm here. I'm here to give a whole piece of me, a whole part of me. And David Goggins talks about this so much, and now it just makes so much more sense. It's like you're telling the universe, yeah, man, I'm giving you everything. Give me what I want. That's how it works. If you don't, then it's just gonna the interest is gonna compound, and soon enough, like the sacrifice, there's not gonna be any point for your sacrifice, and you're just not gonna get what you want, right? The interest, the payment, the price increases, the interest increases. And so yeah, that's pretty much all of the learning that I've had this week. Today is Sunday again, right? And yeah, still haven't posted reels and stuff, but right now I'm trying to align my mind, right? Just really focus on getting my mental and spiritual plane in place before moving to the physical plane, before moving to the action, right? Because action is just wasted if you're not aligning with your mental and spiritual, right? If your mental and spiritual is not aligned, physical does not make sense. And alhamdulillah, like Ramzan, best time for spirituality, quietness. There's no stimulation while you're fasting, so it's really good for the mental as well. So yeah, that's pretty much the summary of how the week has been. I hope the video is good quality. I don't think it is, because yeah, like I'm recording this with a front camera. It is the 22nd of February 22nd Feb 2026, right? So yeah, I'm gonna update you. The next time I see you is gonna be the end of this month, or the start of, actually it's gonna be the start of March. So let's hope I see some progress by then. Okay. Peace.